Oh, here we go. You are live. Happy Saturday, Lemonation, Lemonheads, whatever you guys want to call. It is chill day. Hi, Barkley. My dog is over here. As soon as I started talking, my dog comes over. It's so good to see you on a Saturday. What are you doing? We had the game on. I'm having a little beer watching. This is my favorite beer. Probably should wait till I have like an endorsement or something about it, but that's my favorite beer. So thank you guys for joining us. We really, really appreciate you joining me today. We have a lot of stories to talk about. We're going to get into a little bit of politics, but we're going to talk about things outside of politics, okay? Because it's a fun weekend. It's a beautiful weekend here in New York, by the way. And I got a haircut. How did I do? I went back to my old barber after and it was not so great. So tell me what you think. Give me a nice fade, right? Tell me if you like my fade. Okay, so we're going to talk about a couple things, right? And I'll tell you the couple things we're going to talk about. But first, I want to get to the breaking news. And here's what it's about. TikTok. Time could be up for TikTok because it may go away. It may go away because of what's happening in Washington, what happened today, because the House passed legislation Saturday that would ban TikTok in the United States if the popular social media's China-based owner, if they don't sell their stake within a year. It's ByteDance. ByteDance is a Chinese owner. If they don't sell it within a year, but don't expect to go away anytime soon, right? Because it's going to take a while. This decision will include TikTok as part of a larger foreign aid package, a priority for President Biden, broad congressional support for this. It's in the Ukraine and Israel package. It was fast-tracked after an earlier version had stalled in the Senate. There was a standalone bill that was in the Senate that gave it 6 months, right? A selling deadline of 6 months. That did not pass because there were some concerns about it. And there are national security concerns about TikTok's owner, the Chinese technology company, as I said, ByteDance. This modified version passed overwhelmingly, 360 to 58 votes. It goes to the Senate now. It's got an extended timeline of 9 months unless they're in the process of selling, and then they'll give it a year. Legal challenges, though, could extend that deadline because the company has said that it's going to go to court. It's going to try to block the law if it passes. That this is their argument, that it's going to deprive the app's millions of users of their First Amendment rights. We've been talking a lot about the First Amendment, right? Freedom of speech. So do you think TikTok is part of freedom of speech? Here's what I want to know. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. But here's what I want you to go. Do you think TikTok should be banned in the United States if its owner doesn't sell? But we'll just make it clean in the thing. That's if the Chinese owner doesn't sell. But do you think TikTok should be banned? That's what I would like to know. Okay? I would love to know that. And I will get to those things. I'm just going to tell you what we're going to talk about. Okay? So we're going to do a weekend review. We'll talk a little bit about what happened last week. We don't have to keep going over and over and over it. We're going to get to some things, stories that you may not have heard about. And these aren't necessarily political stories because we did a lot of politics and we need a palate cleanser and we need to chill. Okay? Including one thing, I don't know if you guys know what's going on with Romeo and Juliet. There is an issue because there is a white Romeo and a black Juliet have been cast. And people are saying they're getting some racist backlash. And so who do you think should be playing it? And are you upset that is happening? What do you think about it? The NBA playoffs happening now. We're going to talk about that. Did you do your brackets? I didn't know. You tell me if brackets are a thing when it comes to the NBA, because I wasn't sure. I usually just do NCAA. Taylor Swift. Everybody's talking about Taylor Swift's new album. I feel bad because I don't really know that much about Taylor Swift. Like, it's not really my generation. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you guys are Swifties and all of that. She's very talented. We'll discuss RFK. There's another little wrinkle when it comes to RFK and what's going on. So we started with the breaking news, and that is TikTok. And should it be banned here in the United States if the Chinese-owned company doesn't sell it? Okay, so let's get it. Like and subscribe. I know it's a Saturday. A lot of people have a lot of things to do, but stick with me for a little bit. I don't expect it to be as many people as during the week because I know you guys are chilling, but I appreciate you joining. Okay, so let's see what you guys have to say. Make sure you hit the like button. Did you put the poll up yet? I'm putting the poll up now. Okay, so do you think TikTok should be banned? Wow, Donna Appleby says, yes, TikTok should be banned. You guys aren't telling me why. Maureen Marfell says, I am not upset. Gilbert Moreno says, not a fan of TikTok. Not a fan of the talk. Fried green tomatoes. I love that name. And I also love fried green tomatoes. Let me put this down just a little bit. I also love fried green tomatoes myself. Fried green tomatoes said, what's the point of banning TikTok? Well, they're saying that they're getting your information and that they have security concerns because it's China. And they're not sure. China. It's China. And they're not exactly sure of what China may do with that information. So that's what the concern is, that they're getting your personal information and that it's a national security concern. Okay? So let's see. Seriously, what a year is this? What year is this? Oh, you're talking about the racism thing. We're going to get to that. The question should be, why ban TikTok but not YouTube? Okay. Well, YouTube is not owned by a foreign entity. It's not owned by China. I told you there are national security concerns about China, and they're getting all this information, they have all of your information, and they're going to know a lot, and people are concerned about it. Stop It says, yes, ban TikTok. Yes, ban TikTok. Interesting. Tell me why you think it should be banned or should not be banned. Gina Del Gata Taglia says, it is the Z spot and truth revealed don't like about TikTok. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. Haya Truth Art says, I'm not a fan of TikTok. Okay, Gene Khan says no. So you guys said no. Brenda Y. Brown says, yes, it should be banned. I want to know why you think it should be banned or should not be banned. That's what I would like to know. What is everybody scared about? Y'all got to get a life. That is what Rogerio Perez says. Independent Voter says no, unless a fact-based report proves that it is capable of violating user security and explains exactly how. Celtic Dragon Goddess says, I love TikTok. I get to see my grandkids do silly, funny stuff, and they live far away. Absolutely not. Madam Maru's House of Cards says, I don't use TikTok. I think it ought to be a personal choice. Jeff Hastings, yes, banned. Something similar, but American. Okay, I'm gonna put this down. You're gonna see my mic stand a little bit here because I don't have my little lapel mic here. I just think it's way too high and I'm having to look up. Okay, so here's the thing. It's not just a matter of it being banned. If they ban it and they sell it, right? If they sell it, it's not necessarily going to be banned. What is going to happen is an American company will buy it. They will change the algorithm, and that is, they will have to change the algorithm unless China hands over the algorithm to them, right? And so then they can put some parameters in place, some safety precautions in place, and then TikTok will come back. Maybe there'll be a break in service, who knows? But our government is saying it has to sell. TikTok has to go, and they passed it. That's a little crazy. What do you think? Do you think it's violating? Can you violate a foreign entity's First Amendment right? Listen, China is ByteDance is a China-owned company, a Chinese-owned company. Okay, so here's what you guys say. Almost 300 people have voted, and you say 51%. It is close, guys. It is really close. 51% of you said yes, it should go. What? Really? 40. Now it's 52. 48% say no, leave it. Again, our breaking news on this Saturday afternoon / evening, as we are having a little toast here, is should TikTok be banned? And you guys, many of you say yes. So, I can't even say that name. Oluwamununi Ayadel says, honestly, I'm indifferent. Chris Winkler says, Ukraine aid is breaking news. Yes, I told you about Ukraine aid. We explained that yesterday. I told you we weren't going to get too far into politics because it is a Saturday and we want to take it light a little bit. But the Ukraine aid has passed, along with aid to Israel, along with aid to Taiwan, and in this bill, also the TikTok portion of it. So that's why I'm talking about it. So you don't have to discuss that. We'll discuss that on Monday. I think people need a bit of a break. I hope you guys send me some fun questions. Ask me whatever you want to ask me. Tell me what you're doing today. I would love to hear. Here is what Terry Newell says. I have mixed feelings about TikTok. I don't like it that China owns it. And if it's true, they can watch us. But I think we waste way too much time online. Amen. Oh, Geraldo Eaton says, ban Twitter. Yikes. Yikes. Um, Jesus or Jesus, UCSB says, we want Ukraine, Don. I know you want Ukraine. Here's the thing about Ukraine. Ukraine is going to get the money. Let me get my Ukraine notes since you guys are asking, and then we'll get back to this. Let me find, I have so much stuff here. So much stuff here. The Ukraine thing. So Ukraine, here's the thing. This proposal by Mike Johnson, who is the House Speaker, is a four-part proposal, includes $61 billion for Ukraine. Ukraine is going to get $61 billion. $26 billion for Israel, $8 billion for Taiwan. That is a $95 billion total. Also in that is the fourth component is a proposal that would seize Russian assets and force a TikTok sale and impose sanctions on Iran. Okay, so Ukraine is going to get $26 billion. Here's the thing. I asked the other day, do you think that all of this money, we should be sending all of this money? The money doesn't really go directly to all of these folks, but for Ukraine, it goes to government agencies that will be, supplying government suppliers that's going to be supplying goods for them, for Ukraine to win the war. The taxpayers will get it back somewhat because it'll create jobs and what have you for people. So, but you won't get like a direct refund. Okay. So, wow. GDR Cinnamon Pony says, I am a Midas Mighty now, a lemon pie. Oh, I love it. Lemonation, lemon pie. You can call it what you want. Just call it. Hey, make sure you like and subscribe and make sure you hit the thumbs up. We appreciate it. Yay, Ukraine. Thank you very much. Okay. So let's talk about some things. Again, TikTok, and we'll do the poll. We did the poll and was it still the same thing? Okay. It was 52%, 48%. 52% said yes, ban TikTok. Okay, so real quickly, I want to do, tomorrow we're going to start we're going to start the week fresh. We're going to kick off, what's going to happen next week. So make sure you tune into that because what's going to happen next week is going to be unprecedented. It's going to be unprecedented because this is going to be the first time any president, or current or former, is going to be sitting in a criminal trial. Can you imagine being inside of that courtroom? Can you imagine watching Donald Trump fume as he is forced to listen to the evidence and the testimony against him? Can you believe that? That is going to be crazy. Yikes. Tell me your thoughts. What do you think he's going to do? You think he's going to blow a gasket? No pun intended. Sorry. You think he's going to blow a gasket? We're going to get to all of that tomorrow, but we discussed these big stories last week, okay? Iran firing missiles and drones into Israel. We just know that there was an Israel fired back just not long ago. Jurors booted in the Trump case. That was last week. A man setting himself on fire at the courthouse where the Trump case was happening. Trump sleeping in court. And of course, Trump farting in court. People are denying it and refuting it, saying there's no direct evidence. But people who are inside the courtroom say, yes, they heard it. And the nose knows. The nose knows. Okay? So today, however, I want to talk about a few things. It's a little bit, unless you guys want to talk more, just tell me, do you want to talk more about Trump? Or do you want to move on? Do you want to talk more about Fartgate or do you want to move on? You tell me. Also Kyle J918. Happy 420, Don. I forgot. Maybe I forgot no, I didn't forget for a reason, because of that. It's 420 day. It is 420 day. A good question, just real quick. As we ponder, do you want to hear more about Trump and you want to talk more about Fartgate? Can we put another poll in? And ask if you think that marijuana, because it's 420 days, should be legalized across the country? Because it's legalized in certain states, it's legalized in certain cities and municipalities, but not a blanket legalization across the country. Do you think marijuana should be legalized across the country? That is the new poll that we're going to put in, and we'll see what you have. Char, thank you, Char. Char says, move on. Move on. That means you don't want to talk about it, right? Suzanne Week says, art of the deal it. Oh, dealt it. Art of the dealt it. If you smelt it, you dealt it. Happy 420. Thank you. Let's discuss the status of the country if Trump or Biden wins. We'll talk about that. 420, 420, 420. Yes, legalize. Yes, legalize. Yes, legalize. That is James Johnson saying, yes, legalize. The poll is up. Potassium says, yes, legalize. Gene Kahn says, yes, legalize pot. Wow. Laura Swenson says, yes. Wow. The Crazy Owl says, yes, legalize it. Legalize it. unschedule it. Oh my gosh. Wow. Madame Maru's House of Cards says deschedule cannabis. You guys are a really progressive group. Brandy F says yes, and everyone that went to jail for it should be released. Okay, this is a better topic than I have. It's very interesting that you guys are saying that, because there have been so many people, especially people of color, right, who are sitting in prison now. Poor people, people of color who are sitting in prison now because of marijuana use. Now, if you're a dealer and you're getting people hooked on other things, anyways, but that's the weird thing. I don't even know about the dealers, because if you're dealing marijuana and now people are selling it legally, I'd be pissed. Wouldn't you be pissed if you're in prison? You're like, wait a minute, this guy can sell it legally, make money, become rich, and when I did it, I ended up in prison. I ended up with a record. I can't vote. I can't see my family. What do you think about that? I don't think it's fair. I kind of agree. If you are sitting in prison, if you are incarcerated around marijuana, if you were using it, and if you were just selling marijuana, not, other drugs, why are people in jail? Why are they incarcerated? Why are some people allowed to get rich? People are getting really, really rich, really, really rich on marijuana, on selling marijuana. There are shops. When I go to LA, there are shops everywhere that I see. There are shops all over New York City, all over Colorado, farms everywhere. I even have friends who have, they have a stake in marijuana companies. So here is what you guys are saying. Pamela Conkin says 420. Unopinionated bystander says, move on, no Trump. Bridget Sweeney, next year 420 is going to fall on Easter. Oh, right. Kim H says next, I think meaning Trump, right? Next, the law. Okay, Robert Henson, that's fine. Robert Henson says the law is not retroactive. Okay, I get that. The law is not retroactive. Wait. I can't find how do I get back? I can't find I lost you guys. Not the I just lost the chat. How do I get my chat back? Do you guys anybody have any idea how I get my chat back? I can't. I did something crazy. Oh, there it is. I got it. There we go. I just slid it over. Thank you. The law is not retroactive. That's true. Barkley, quiet. Barkley is saying that people who are in jail for marijuana should be let out. Buried Bits says they should not be in jail. No way. Free them now. Steph Jones says, is pot legal in New York? It is legal in New York State. Is it legal in New York State? I'm not sure if it's legal in New York State. I should do more research because I'm not a pot smoker. I have, I have smoked pot before. I've done gummies before, but I just can't really do pot right anymore. I don't like the way it makes me feel. The next thing is going to be the whole thing around mushrooms. Okay. Right on, Barkley. That's what Jeremiah Larkin says. Here's what Charity a la Lex Valentine says. The Oregon law, harder drugs, didn't work, unfortunately. Okay. Trump 2024, you heard Carlos Pinto says that. Trump 2024. Tammy O says, personal use is legal in New York State. Thank you very much for that. Someone said didn't inhale. So thank you very much for that. So I really want to know what you guys think about this. Give me the ganja, says Brian Prentice. Thank you. Tony Stark says, that's because you haven't found your strain, Don. Listen, I'm a man of a certain age, and I have, partaken. And I remember being in LA once, and someone had some medical grade marijuana, and I'm like, okay, I'll try it. I got so sick, I threw up everywhere. It was so strong. This wasn't the marijuana that I, in my college years, that had remember all the seeds and you're like, whatever, it was just bad. This stuff was really strong. The war on drugs was a disaster. So I'm not saying that I'm not against marijuana at all. I'm just saying for me at this stage in my life, I just don't like the way it makes me feel. Maybe it makes me too paranoid or tired and I have to work. So, there you go. So Kyle J918 says, I have my medical license in AR, but now I can't foster any children, which sucks because I just found out that I can't have children. Laws need to be changed. Okay. Fried Green Tomato says, Barkley was Tom Hanks' dog's name on my favorite movie, You've Got Mail. Oh, great. I did not know that. Pot makes me stupid, Carta. Yeah, I can't keep a thought now. I still have senior moments where I can't remember things. So pot is, for me, it does not help me with my memory. I have trouble recalling things now. I'm like, wait a minute, what's that name? What's that name? We were at a bar last night. We went to a restaurant, then we went out for a few beers. And I was at a bar last night, and it was a country western bar here in New York City, but it's like very diverse. Everybody goes. And there was a movie playing on the monitor, and I was like, what is that movie? I know it's like 2-3 names, and I know, and blah blah blah, and it was Wesley Snipes and and it was Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Tu Wong Fu, and I could not remember it for the life of me. I'm like, what is happening with my memory? So anyways, and here's what I do have to say, guys, as I'm going to get back to the pot thing. Don't come at me, Beehive. I love Beyonce. I think she is incredibly talented. I think she's amazing, but I'm not like part of the Beehive. I'm not like crazy. Same thing with Taylor Swift. We're going to talk about Taylor Swift. I respect their talent and what they're doing. They're like, their economies within their own and doing trends. I have to tell you, I respected Beyonce before, but I have a newfound, even larger respect for Beyonce because they played Texas Hold'em. People got up on the bar and started dancing in Western attire. What she has done with the music industry, she is moving the music industry. She is changing minds and hearts in the music industry. Beyonce is a bad, newfound respect. Hat tip to her. You know what she did with that song, Texas Hold'em? And I don't think you guys realize that. Texas Hold'em, when you hear it, it sounds like a song that has been around forever, that you have heard before, right? That you have heard a million times. But what she's done is taken I think the best elements, the catchiest elements of country music and put it all into one song that makes it sound so familiar even the first time you hear it or heard it. And you know who else did that? Mariah Carey with I Don't Want a Lot for Christmas. Same thing. You feel like you've heard that song forever the first time you heard it. Very familiar. What they did was they took traditional Christmas songs, the best elements from Christmas songs, put it all into one song, and it becomes an instant classic. This ain't Texas. Woo! Ain't no Hold'em. Woo! Get 'em down, down. Every time you hear that, that is an instant classic. Instant classic. Beyonce, thank you. By the way, Beyonce reminding the world about Black folks' participation in country music, right? So I digress because I went through this whole thing about, there's a reason why I went there because I just couldn't recall. So marijuana, I have trouble recalling if I do marijuana. I go inside. I can't be around people. I'm thinking too much. I get sleepy. I get goofy. I can't remember anything. I just start laughing, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Coolian 516 says the Mariah Carey song sounds like a 1960s throwback. Yes, that's my point. It's, you know what it sounds like? Don 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 don. Santa Claus is coming to town. It sounds like that, but it's not. You better watch out. You better not pout. You know who that is. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is. That was a Jackson 5. That was my first album, by the way. By the way, I'm writing a book. Comes out in September, I think. It was November, but I think they're going to move it up to September because you should read it before the election. Anyways, I write about having my first album, which was a Jackson 5's Christmas album, stolen in nursery school. Okay, I digress. Yes, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like a 1960s Christmas song. Okay, so Steph Jones says, so old boys don't like a Black person involved in country music. Well, not everybody. I think people are appreciating it. And I think, look, every time If she had this frosty reception at the CMAs back, I think it was 2016, and she did what she did, I think the best way to show people is by doing, right? You don't have to complain. You can complain. You can tell people about it, but then you do something really, really great and you change hearts and minds. And that's what she's doing. Beyonce is moving the music industry into a direction that is positive. So I thank you. So you are going to lose your thumb if you keep singing Santa Claus songs in April, sir. Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you, Daniel Newman. Let's see. Jay, like black people don't live in the South. Oh, yeah, meaning country. That's what Cool Land says. Don keeps singing, I'm going to unsubscribe. LOL. Don't do that. Don't unsubscribe. Come on, call your friends. Tell them to tune into the show. Again, I know it's Saturday. I know this is unorthodox. I'm coming at you from my living room, and we're just having a conversation. Okay, so let's get back to the marijuana that you guys are talking about. Should marijuana be legalized across the country? What do you think? What do y'all think the poll is? This is shocking because when I was growing up, I think it would have been the exact opposite. And I know you guys are young, and there are people of all ages in this chat watching. Should marijuana be legalized across the country? Absolutely. 87% said absolutely. 87%. 18% said no way. Wow. Do you partake? Oh, 13%. That's my bad eye. Sorry. And my math. 87% say absolutely. No way said 13%, excuse me. 13%. So thank you. Do you guys partake? I mean, because I don't, but I still feel like it should be legalized. I still feel like people got a bad shake who were actually selling it and using it not so long ago. Not so long ago. Now poll how many partake. Okay, so overwhelmingly people say do it. Let's see how many people partake. Can we do a poll there? Yeah, let's do it. Do we want to do that? Yes, I want to do it. Hello, I'm 68 years old. Denise Fletcher. Denise Fletcher, 68 years old on YouTube in the comments. I love you. I love you, young lady. Smooches, smooches, smooches. Kim HR says yes. Okay. She participates. TD says sometimes. Karen Richards says, I do for my MS. That's interesting. Jazzy J says, no, I don't smoke. Miss Bell says, I don't smoke, but I think it should be legal. Wow. Wow, interesting. Oh, wait a minute. Verita Dia says 420 is a gateway day. Interesting. The smell is awful, says Eric B. I smell it. You cannot walk down the street in New York without smelling it, Okay. Chris Stewart says, I have my medical card. Don, I love that name. Don Lamont. I'm part of the 13%. I've never smoked or indulged in alcohol. That's why my body heals quickly, 100%. Good for you, brother. Leanne Langford says, Canadian here, marijuana is legal. Mushrooms are still not. I believe it's coming soon. Interesting, because I remember remember the SARS scare in the early 2000s? I was working for NBC News, and I went to Toronto to cover the SARS scare. And I remember doing my live shot. We were in downtown Toronto, and people would come outside and smoke marijuana like on their smoke break and then go back into work. And I thought that was so foreign and so weird. And now, it happens here in the United States, and it's happening all over the world. Okay, so make sure you hit the like button and the thumbs up. Thank you so much, Dan Cole. I appreciate it. Appreciate you supporting independent media. Says, I'm 67 and my bong is my best friend. You guys are crazy. Cigarettes were my gateway. So we asked, do you guys partake? That's what I want to know in the poll. Everybody should be able to create and part of all types of music. Okay, that's for the Beyonce thing. So how many partake? All right, it's coming up now. Let's see. Be good to one another. I agree with that, Bird Bites. Okay, so yes, 100%. It should be, yes, 100%. I think Lisa Payne says that she does. Madeline Green says no. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out. I don't see the poll up. Perhaps we'll get it up. Where is the poll? I know, MS. Where is the poll? It's not. Okay, the computer's slow, I hear. So we'll see. We'll get it up. Okay. So we'll talk about that when the poll comes up. The poll comes up. So I said we were going to talk about some of the stories that what? Oh, we're exactly 2 weeks, Mary. The poll is up, guys. Do you guys partake? The poll is up now. Make sure you vote. Patty R says, yes, edibles only. Yes, edibles only. Okay. All right. So I'm going to get to the poll in just a second. As I'm looking at it, it's going up. It's going up and up and up and up. A lot of people are voting. A lot of people are giving their poll. I should do a presidential poll one. Gloria Michael says, Canadian here, 78 years old. I take THC oil to help me sleep. Wow, that's cool. 78 years old? Hmm. Hmm. If it was legal, good for the economy too, says Susan Curtis. You're very smart. I do think you can tax it, you can regulate it, and you can bring some income into much needed city, state, federal coffers. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. I'm looking at the poll. 400 of you have voted. And wow, you guys think it should be legal, but you don't necessarily think that you don't necessarily partake. So I like that mindset. So 41% say they do. 41% say they do. 59% say they don't. Wow, interesting. Okay, so we're going to talk about some of the stories that I found interesting that maybe that we overlooked this week. I know went on a little tangent because the marijuana story, when someone mentioned 420, I had forgotten. Sent me on a little tangent. Okay, so these are some of the stories that I want to talk about, especially we've been talking a lot about First Amendment. We started with TikTok and we started with social media, right? Okay, because social media is doing some weird things to Gen Z. This is a story that you may not have discussed or talked about last week, okay? Stories that you might have missed. And then you can ask me anything. Is social media turning Gen Z into the hater generation, right? Social media apps give users a front row seat into the lives of many that they don't know. They do and don't know, allowing them to provide instant feedback on what they see. Some take the chance to offer words of encouragement and gestures of approval, while others rattle off negative reactions. Oftentimes, the negativity is louder than the praise. Tearing down others seems to be a rather disturbing element of Gen Z culture. Enjoying that 15 minutes, that 15 seconds, well, really 15 minutes of fame has been somewhat difficult when trying to stand out against a judgmental crowd and the group of haters that they've embraced the label and made trendy. Is it time to stop being a mean girl or a boy and grow up? Is it time to stop being a mean girl or a mean boy and grow up? Social media is affecting in a negative way, especially Gen Z, and this story or research says it's turning them into haters. Why is there so much negativity on social media? Why are people so judgmental on social media? Right? Judge not, lest ye be judged. That's what Madame Rawley's House of Cards says. Judge not, lest ye be not judged. Kristen Olsen says, it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. Wow. My daughter doesn't do marijuana. That's a marijuana poll. We've moved on from the marijuana. I'll get to the marijuana poll. So Stella Baxter says, yes, please grow up. Being cruel is easy. Jeremiah Larkin, time to stop hating. I agree. It's time to stop hating. Someone wants me to do a Taylor Swift poll. Okay, so that's one of the stories that you may not have talked about. Another story that is affecting Gen Z. I'm going to talk about some young people. And this one is really serious. Gen Z, in pretty big numbers, are having to seek therapy, financial therapy, because of tax day. You know, the tax deadline was the 15th, which was this week. They're having to seek therapy. The lack of financial literacy, limited money management, and student loan debt are the main obstacles that Gen Z face. Throw in a tax season into that mix and anxiety sets in. This is a recent survey. It's by the Cash App Taxes. It revealed that more than half of Gen Z said that tax stress has brought them to tears. And the young generation is looking for therapists to help them through the aftermath of filing their taxes. Can you believe it? You have to seek therapy after filing your taxes. This is Gen Z. They may already be finding, this is a quote, they may already be finding other challenges in their financial life, and then thinking about taxes as this add-on challenge may only increase some of the anxiety associated with that. This is said by Eric Bronnen-Kant of Betterment, a digital financial advisory company. Another contributing factor for the heightened stress could be Gen Z's knack for holding down multiple jobs. You guys, Gen Z, multiple jobs that require more attention, is reporting how they make their money as the gig economy, and the cryptocurrency investments has been a constant go-to for this generation. So this generation lives in a gig economy. It used to be that people went to a job and stayed there forever. Now people just have gigs. That is stressful for young people. Young people have a lot of debt now, right? And so they're having to turn to therapists to pay to deal with that. Okay, this one I thought was interesting. This one is called Romeo and Juliet, and it's racism in Verona. I want to know what you guys think about this one. By the way, let's do the poll. 60% say I do not smoke, 40% say I do. Okay, that's marijuana. Let's talk about this. Okay, and I want you guys to pay attention. I think this, and I want your feedback because it's very interesting. Racism in Verona. The question is, shouldn't fictional characters be portrayed by the best actors / actresses for the role, regardless of color? One would think so, but when that doesn't happen, people are triggered. Let me tell you why. Last month, Spider-Man and esteemed actor Tom Holland posted on that he would be playing Romeo in a new production of William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. While many were excited, others came out of the woodwork feeling a particular way when it was announced that a Black actress would play Juliet. A Black actress would play Juliet. This caused many of the crew and other actors to go to bat for Amiwuda Rivers and say that not only is she deserving of the role, but also relit the fires that have started ever since Black women have been gaining roles for characters that are not originally Black. By the way, just so you know, Juliet has often been played by men, right? And there weren't any complaints about it. It was just the best actor. Black people in Britain have been riddled with tabloids and fervor by publications such as The Sun, like how they attacked Meghan Markle. I don't want other Black actresses being discouraged from taking big parts like this due to ignorant racists spouting that they know better. So people are up in arms and they're upset. Do you think that there should be? I don't even know if we have to do a poll on it. You can do a poll on it if you want. Do you think that is it okay for a mixed people, a white guy and a Black woman, to play Romeo and Juliet? Does that upset you? Do you think that it's okay for that? By the way, Tom Holland is dating Zendaya, and I think some people said that they would like Zendaya to do that. The racists have clouded words and phrases such as DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and woke, making them dog whistles for racial slurs and co-opting them from other minorities to use them against us. That's what the folks are saying over in London. Okay? That's what the folks are saying over in London. What do you think? Again, as I said, strangely enough, Juliet has been played by a man and there was no outrage by it. But I'm wondering why people are so upset if Juliet is being played by a Black woman. Interesting. I don't know. I don't have an issue with it. I think the best actors and actresses should get the parts. I do. Of course, I believe in diversity. There's a whole nother conversation about DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Just because you believe in some parts of DEI doesn't mean that you believe in all parts of DEI. It doesn't have to be a zero-sum game, right? You can agree with it or want it, and then other aspects of it you don't want. Kylie Karma, thank you. They did the same thing with Little Mermaid and other series movies. I am white, and the color of an actor's skin is a non-issue for me, but I'm not racist. Thank you very much. You're talking about Halle Bailey. Halle Bailey received backlash for playing the Little Mermaid, and she was fantastic in the Little Mermaid, amazing in the Little Mermaid, and she got some crazy backlash for that. I think that it should be the most talented actress. I want to read your comments now. Excuse me for that. So Terry Cohen says, I love diversity. We've come a long way. The Crazy Al. Hey, the Crazy Al. Good to see you on here. Disney made Cinderella with a diverse cast. It is the best. Norma G. Ron says the crazy outrage when they made the Little Mermaid a black child. I feel that's so crazy, so racist, and it was a freaking cartoon. Karen Richards says it is perfectly fine. Beth H says Elizabeth Taylor, terrible acting as Cleopatra. So Elizabeth Taylor played an Egyptian woman, and she didn't quite look the part. They put some, excuse me, a little allergy here. They put dark makeup on her, and that happened to a lot of actresses. A lot of actresses would play like black women or Egyptian women or African women or whatever, and it would be white actresses, and they would just put dark makeup on them instead of hiring a black actress. But if you're the best actor and actress, people say you should get the part. Diane Roberts says, if the race is integral to the character, it matters, portraying Dr. King or Elvis. True, 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 true. So when we're talking about Elizabeth Taylor playing the Egyptian or whatever, or if it's integral to the character, I agree with you. I think it should be played on the screen. It would be weird to see Denzel Washington, although I think he could do it, play Elvis. But, hey, whatever. Let's see. Opinions are like a-holes. Everybody has one. Thank you, Bigly Piggly 45. Elizabeth Hopkins, the prejudice has got to stop. Diversity is awesome. Why the fuss? Janet Pearson, Mickey Rooney in Breakfast at Tiffany's. Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember that was very controversial. Very controversial. Okay, so I think it's awful. I think if it's integral to the character, I think that it should always go with the people who have the talent. I like to go with the people who have the talent. One more story before we get out of here, and I'm not going to talk about the playoffs. Playoffs are happening now. It's interesting because I do an NCAA bracket, but I don't do an NBA bracket. I don't know if it's a thing. I also just wanted to say, here, this is my ignorance because I have not been paying attention to the NBA because I have a lot going on. I just got married. I was in the process of planning a wedding. We just moved into a new apartment. This is a new apartment that we're in. We just moved into a new apartment. That was a whole thing of getting it painted, getting the furniture. Oh, it's crazy, 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 crazy. So moving, can you imagine? You know how stressful moving is? Moving into a new apartment and starting a new show. Whew, I had a lot going on. So I haven't been paying attention to the NBA. So I was just recently in Louisiana and I went by the Superdome and I saw like the Pelicans on the side of the Superdome. And I went, oh my gosh, the Pelicans, I forgot about them, the NBA team. Well, guess what? The Pelicans are in the playoffs. I don't know what happened right now, but it's set. The Pelicans and the Heat sealed two final spots on Friday. The the New Orleans Pelicans, yay team. I didn't know. I'm going to have to be a bandwagon jumper. I hope they're not out as I'm talking now. I don't know. I mean, I may be talking out of school because I have not kept up, but let me know what's going on with the Pelicans. So thank you. And someone said congratulations on the nuptials. Okay, so before I go, one more story I want to talk about, and that is Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift drops a new album. Are you a fan? I just told you guys that I am a fan of Taylor Swift, but I don't know that much about meaning. I think she's very talented. Her music is great. She's very talented, lovely, lovely, lovely young lady. It's just not part of my generation. But there is a whole generation, young people, older people who love Taylor Swift. I don't really know that much about her. Maybe it's an age thing. Maybe it's a cultural thing. It's obvious. She's obviously very talented and she's a force. In 18 months, there's been 18 months between the 2022's Midnights and Taylor Swift's new album, The Tortured Poets Department. The Tortured Poets Department. She managed to grow into an even bigger cultural force. Let me just say that her Eras Tour dominated, the movie dominated the box office. Her Eras Tour made her estimated take home was $4.1 billion. That's according to the Washington Post. That's an economy within itself, $93 billion reportedly per show, more than the yearly economic output of 42 countries, including Liberia, which has more than 5 million people. The album dropped. It's at the top of the charts. I didn't even mention dating Travis Kelce, right? So, are you listening to the Taylor Swift album? Are you excited about it? It is number one. I think, is it on iTunes? Let's see where it was number one. I believe it's number one on iTunes. Number one. So it's fan base announcing. Anyway, it is number one. It's crazy. She is an economy. I was reading a story the other day that said Taylor Swift, when she played in Los Angeles, the rumble, the vibration from the arena registered on the old Richter scale that they called it for earthquakes. The same thing in Seattle. It was an even larger thing because there were so many people there. She is an economy. Maybe I should know more about her to try to get more into her music. But again, not my generation. I'm more Whitney. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. So that's my generation. So listen, Matrix Real says, number don't lie. Yes. Susan Curtis says, all I know about Taylor Swift is promoting young people to vote. Yes. Great. Yes, she does that. Not to mention that she could have an effect on the election. So again, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything bad about Taylor Swift. I just don't know that much about her music. Sarah Temp says, listen to her, Don. I will. I'm going to put her on. Geraldo Ethan says, the song Florida by Taylor Swift will turn Florida blue. All right, great. So someone says, I don't follow Swift here. Stella Baxter says, I bought the anthology and was impressed that she has a song called Clara Bow. Yes, a silent film actress. Yes. So listen, she's a force within herself. So if you haven't listened to the Taylor Swift album, I just want you to know it's out there. That's all people are talking about, that and the NBA and TikTok, okay? And so I usually go for an hour. I'm going to cut it short because I know it's a Saturday and you guys want to get out here, and I really appreciate it. I thank you so much. If there's anything, I'm from the Mariah Carey generation. Okay, Candy Camp. I'll give you a few more seconds if you want to. You can ask me anything. What do you guys want to know? We've been married for exactly 2 weeks at probably right about now. The wedding started at 5 p.m. Can I tell you, I think I told you guys this. We had a gospel choir that kicked off. Tim and I were standing in the balcony in the back of the church, hidden. We were hiding, and we got to look at the guests as they walked in. We were saying, who's late? This person sitting next to that person, whatever. And so people were sitting down and arriving, and then, hit the thumbs up button. People were sitting down and arriving, and the gospel choir started singing, New York, concrete jungles, what dreams are made of. And then we both looked at each other like, this is real. It was so amazing. And then they went through a whole series of songs. And then we walked down the aisle on It's a Wonderful World. It's a wonderful world. What a wonderful world. So that's it. So thank you guys for joining. Hit the thumbs up button. Congratulations. Thank you very much, Darla Leisure, for that. Thank you, everyone who's donating to social media. I really appreciate that and supporting social media. Judy Carter says, thanks, Don. You and Tim, have a good evening. Did you guys hyphenate your last names? No. Before I could we went to get our marriage license. And by the way, I should have brought it. It's sitting in there on the desk. It came in the mail today, the official marriage license. But by the way, when I said, Tim, do you want to change before I could change your name out, when we were down at the courthouse getting the marriage license, he said, no. And I'm like, okay. Yes, the bill passed. Name of your 3 other family members and need to show them. Boomer, Barkley, and Gus. They're in the room now because they were being naughty and they were barking. And so we had to put them in the room. And also at 6 o'clock is their time to eat. And they get a little rambunctious because they want to eat. So Marcia AMW says, congratulations to both of you. Thank you very much. And it's great to be so in love, isn't it? Beth H says, yes, it is. Here's Jeff Test Pilot says, I'm glad that you got your marriage in before the Supreme Court destroys your ability to get one. Listen, that was part of our deal, that we were worried about that. And it has been overwhelmingly positive, but we do see a lot of haters, especially on Twitter, especially on X. It's such a cesspool. It's just ridiculous. But mostly on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, the feedback has been very positive, obviously from people on the street and whatever. But there are a lot of haters who are saying it's Adam and Eve and not Adam and Steve, and it's an abomination and all that. Keep that to yourself. Do your thing. But listen, you guys, Alaro of Nigeria says, stay blessed. You guys stay blessed as well. Stay in love. Be safe. Go watch a game. Some people are at the baseball game. I know my producer's at the baseball game. So enjoy yourselves this weekend. I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to kick off the week. We're going to do a week and talk about what's going to happen, because there are a lot of folks who know what's going to happen in the courtroom on Monday. And by the way, I have a friend who knows a juror, not a juror, someone who was in the jury pool and was released. And so I'm going to talk to her. And if she will allow me to report back to you what happened in court, I will do that tomorrow. Okay? So it's very interesting. I think it was too much for her. So the judge let her go. Okay? You guys be in love, and I mean with everyone. I don't mean that in a weird way. So we love you, said Fried Green Tomatoes. I love you guys too. Okay, have a great Saturday evening. Oh, wait. What Tim and I are going to go out to dinner tonight, or we may stay home. I don't know, and enjoy a movie. That's what we're going to do. Someone asked. Okay, bye, y'all. I appreciate it. Love you. See you tomorrow. 5 o'clock.